Motion done.
Okay, I'll now call the Hanwell Rural Community regular meeting of council to order, please. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of 8C?
I, Councillor Heislip, move to approve the agenda with the addition of 8C, the merge program.
Seconder?
I, Councillor Dooley, second.
Okay, any questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Thank you, council. Consent section, can I have a motion, please?
I, Councillor Heislip, move to adopt the consent section with the removal of the Upper Kingsclear Fire Department report to be moved to business arising 7A.
Seconder?
I, Councillor Cox, second.
Questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carries. Thank you. Any disclosures tonight, council?
I got one for 8B.
Okay, we'll take note of that. Thank you, Councillor Kerr. Public input inquiries, we don't have any tonight, or no presentations, petitions, or delegations. Item 7, business arising from consent section if applicable, would be the Upper Kingsclear Fire Department report. So, Chief, I'll turn the podium over to you.
This will be short and sweet, I guess. Everyone got a copy of January's report?
Yes.
So, not too bad, a lot of accidents, of course, and alarm calls. Any questions?
Nice, an easy night for you tonight, Chief.
You're right, you're right.
Oh, thank you very much. Motion to receive the fire department, please.
I, Councillor McKenzie, move to receive the fire department report.
I, Councillor Craig, second.
Questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Thank you, guys.
Good evening.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
You don't have to run away. You can stay and enjoy the rest of the meeting like we do.
That got recorded.
Subtle but direct.
Okay, item 8, new business. Item A, Hanwell Days. I need a motion, please, on the Hanwell Days Committee.
I, Councillor DeCleva, move to strike the Hanwell Days Committee and have Mayor Dave Morrison as chair and the rest of council as members of the committee.
Seconder, please.
I, Councillor Dooley, second.
Any questions, comments?
Yes.
Councillor McKenzie?
Yeah, so why is it being made a committee of the whole rather than what was already previously going to the committee? Is there any specific reason for that?
It's probably half a dozen one and 6 of the other. Any comments on that?
It's what it was in our procedural bylaw, I believe, when we looked the other day.
To have the Hanwell Days Committee as a committee of the whole?
Yes, I believe so.
I don't recall that.
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up when I go home.
Right. My questions are, we made a presentation to council, or to, not to council, to that meeting, outlining the plan for the concert, which would be separate from the Hanwell Days Committee. And we've not received anything in writing that was assigned to agree to that yet. And we're now striking the committee, which, unless that's been separated out and signed for as a separate committee,
Is it a separate committee or subcommittee?
it's a separate committee
Separate committee.
with roles and responsibilities that are set out, and we made it quite clear that when we had that meeting, that we wanted this to be official and signed and agreed to.
Correct. And you guys were going to come and present to say what you wanted from council.
We did, that was that meeting that we had. That we had a few weeks ago when Jeff was here.
But you have to come to council and say what you want for an amount, and I believe that's what was discussed at that meeting, and he was going to come and,
We know he's away all of February. Yeah, he told us.
My understanding was that he was to come to council with an ask. We would have to approve the funding. That was my understanding.
Do we have any special meetings?
we've got special meetings coming up for the audit.
I think that's actually what we said, is that we would have a special meeting.
So we can bring that forward at the special meeting, at the next special
For
meeting.
the amount.
Well, we still haven't settled this.
But you can make an, so right now, the motion on the floor is for the Hanwell Days Committee. Now, if you want to make another motion afterwards asking for a Hamel Days concert committee, then,
But that committee is not necessarily a committee of council, because
No.
there would be volunteers
Right.
from wherever.
that's why I'm saying it'd be two different
Yes,
motions.
definitely, okay.
Yeah.
In that case, we also need to amend this possibly, because right now you have this motion saying that everyone from council, well, first of all, it's kind of difficult anyway, because most of the people who are here voting on it today are not going to be here in June, because most are not reoffering again. So therefore, they could be a member today, but they're not going to be a member by the time the thing comes. And then you also are speaking for people who haven't been elected yet, who you don't know that they're, have time or interest or whatever in being on this committee.
But would that not be the same as any committee that we have? I mean, when an election comes, your name could be on a committee, but you might not get elected, so then your name's still on there and we would just have to replace them. So the motion right now is for Hamel Days Committee, which has nothing to do with this Hamel Days Concert Committee.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
to me, I
we
think
do
it's
like
two
do
different.
now and then worry about that then.
And people may want to stay on the committee even if they're not re-elected.
And they may, but
Is
just
that
as the
possible?
rest of council.
But they can resign from the committee if they want to, after
Could
the
you
election.
amend your motion then to say as members of the committee until the election? And then that way, when the election comes, you revisit, or what do you do? Like,
I
if
would
people
leave
who
it just the
don't get
way
elected.
it is, because we discussed at that meeting, like, even though some are not,
yeah, we still
they
wanna
might still be
part
on
of
as members. And then if the new people that are elected want to join, then we would add them just like we add any names. Like take for example, my EMO committee. I'm always have additional people that are joining and
Oh yes, I
just-
realize other people can join the committee, but this one is obligating members of council to be on this committee.
Well, you still have a few months.
I don't want to be on this committee, basically. That's what I'm getting at. And you are including all of council on this committee.
You want to be on the concert,
I
sorry.
am only involved in the concert committee,
You want to be on the concert committee.
yes.
Okay, so the motion on the floor is this one. If you guys
Strike
don't
it down.
want to move forward with it, then I would advise just to let it fall and then make another motion.
So hold vote and then,
That's-
Councillor Heislip has a question?
Just a comment. If our procedural bylaw states that all members have to be on the committee, because it's a committee of the whole, which is what is required, then that is what necessarily needs to be done now unless we change the procedural bylaw to reflect that.
We're looking into that right now. I was sure that was listed as an ad hoc committee, not
I
as a committee.
thought so too.
But the
It's
other
an ad
is,
hoc / special.
So that's not a committee of the whole.
ad hoc is no, it's not a committee of the whole. It would have to have been listed as a committee of the whole. But my other point is, if newly elected councillors, this just says elected, so whether you're newly elected later, doesn't matter, you're still going to have a responsibility either to sit on this committee or some other committee, so you can say yay or nay at that time. That's my thought on it.
I'm thinking too that somebody doesn't want to be on the committee, they can resign from the committee. Councillor Fox?
Yeah, I guess my concern is that if somebody doesn't want to be on the committee, the motion reads that the rest of the council members are on the committee. So it doesn't really give that option for people to not be on the committee. And because it's not a committee of the whole, I think that option should exist for folks.
I wonder if we could amend the motion saying that the councillors that want to be on the committee are to be on the committee.
You could just strike a Hamel Days committee without saying who is going to be on it.
It's your motion.
Councillor Fox?
So I would suggest instead that it be moved to strike the Hanwell Days Committee and have Mayor Dave Morrison as chair of the committee.
Yeah, leave it at that.
And leave it at that, and then people,
Yeah, whole was only.
people,
Okay.
So-
Yeah,
members can
we just
join.
amend that motion there now, so then we can have it that way. And that should resolve the problem, I think.
Yeah, can we just verify that it's not, it's only facilities and finance that are listed as committees of the whole right now? So
Okay.
this motion wouldn't be technically correct anyway. So what was, is somebody motioning to amend this?
Yeah.
Councillor.
Councillor Fox?
So I'll make a motion to amend the motion to read, I, Councillor Fox, move to strike the Hanwell Days Committee and have Mayor Dave Morrison as chair of that committee.
So just, so the amendment would basically remove the rest of the council members committee.
Correct.
I, Councillor McKenzie, second that amendment.
Okay, any other questions, comments? All those in favor of the amended motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded? Okay, motion carried, the amendment is carried through to the original motion.
So now we vote on the motion.
So now.
Now we'll vote on the motion, okay. So, all those in favor of the original motion, please signify by
The
saying.
amended motion.
The amended motion?
Yeah, you vote on the amendment, and then you vote on the amended motion.
Okay, so, all those in favor of the amended motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Okay, motion carried. Thank you, council. Good, we did get through it. Okay, item B, Canada Post service cuts. I believe Deputy Mayor Jonah has a motion.
Yeah, well, I guess it's something we've all known about for quite some time. Knowing very little about, I guess, as a way to kind of introduce it to people. We know that there's been things going on with Canada Post. There's been, reports of numerous different possibilities that may go on. But anyway, it's become a concern all across the country, and Hanwell is no different. So I did want to make a motion to maybe clarify, or at least get information on what the possibilities may be before we're presented with them sometime in the near future or the far future, we just don't know. So anyway, I guess my motion that I'd like to put forward is, whereas Canada Post is the only provider of letter mail and small package delivery to every postal code in Canada, and is publicly owned and therefore should be considered a public service, and whereas there is uncertainty in the future of Canada Post and its services, whereas there is no further option for small businesses, municipalities, volunteer organizations, etc., to circulate unaddressed ad mail locally, and where a drop to door-to-door service especially will affect seniors and people with disabilities the most, and whereas Hanwell is a community already limited in postal service, as well as being very rural, I would like to move the staff to send a letter of concern to the Minister in charge of Canada Post, the Prime Minister's office, and the MP for Etobicoke-Mactaquac, as well as the head of Canada Post, asking for a full, unbiased, and public consultation before any political decisions are made.
I, Councillor McKenzie, second.
Okay, any questions, comments? Councillor McKenzie?
Yeah, I like the way this is worded, good job. It really isn't saying that we're taking it aside either
No,
way.
well, you can't,
It's
you
just-
don't know the facts.
Yeah, so it's just asking for a full, unbiased public consultation before decisions are made. I think that's beautifully worded, good job.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Thank you, council. Okay, item 8C is
Hey,
the,
ladies.
I'd like to, Councilor Coaster returns. Okay, moving on to item 8C is the merge program. We need to have a discussion around the merge program. And I'm not sure we're going to leave the merge program discussion. I'll ask our CAO, Terry, to do such a thing.
So council, as you know, we were lucky that we received funding to do the merge program last time for 2 projects. One was a water study that we did, and the other one was land identification, so that's a mapping system. So because of the success of it, they have decided they're going to do the merge program 2.0. And they have approached us wondering if we would like to put in an application for it again. Deputy Mayor Jonah and I sat in on that meeting. There were a couple things that we had talked about, one being possible road study. I had talked to our recreation department with the recreation master plan that we just did. We know that there's going to have to be a site plan done for the David Bell Park, so we can figure out like what is needed there, the repairs that need to be done. Yep, there was a couple other things that I had emailed you guys about. Possible study if we've kind of talked about recreation facility, so kind of doing something like a study on that. So I have to apply for this, and I just want to know if you want to go forward with it. I will be very honest with you all. I think that we should wait. Staff is stretched to our limit. We've got a few positions that we have got to hire for. We're going to have to train them. We've got many of you guys leaving in May. It's going to take extensive training for new council. And it's very easy to say, yes, let's do this project, when you're not the one that's doing all the training, you're not the ones that are doing the weekly meetings, and you're not the ones that are supplying all the information. So right now we have got a bunch of projects on the go, and I would really like to ask that we just hold off on this one, let another municipality possibly do it, because we pay about $3,000. Ignite and the Merge program puts in about $25,000, and these are startup companies, so I know that we have been talking about the roads, but I really don't know if transportation study is going to be something that we're going to get done for $25,000. Considering we had it done for Hanwell originally, and that was $95,000, I believe, was what we paid back then a few years ago. And we didn't have Kings Clear and Island View in that, but I will totally leave it up to you. Staff will do whatever you wish to move forward, but that is my wish.
How we would on a smaller project that Merge would cover is the study on the David Bell Park. Is that possible that we could do that?
Could I speak on this at some point?
Yep.
There are very strong feelings on this. Yes, I understand the staff is busy, and they've been busy, and we don't have enough, and we've never had enough, and I don't know when we're going to have that problem solved, hopefully at some point. We've also wanted to do a road study for Hanwell since at least 2017 or 18. We've budgeted for it many times. We've not done it. This is an opportunity that we can, our last one, both of their last two have given us much more expectations than we expected from either one of them. We were there at this meeting, and we asked if this was something that they could do. And he said basically what would come down to is if, as long as they would put out the RFP, they would, whoever turns up who has the ability to do it will bid on it. So therefore you don't know until the time comes whether you can bid on it. My suggestion is because roads are the most important thing we have in Hanwell, and we've known that, we cannot grow, we cannot do anything until we really know about our roads. David Bell Park has been not designated, but David Bell Park has been looked out as being a major project, where an area that we have is big enough to do, a major center. We have another piece of property down here. Those are not projects that you're going to get something done, and even knowing what you want to put on those in a small startup project. This project, I think, is something that if they can find the company who can do it, who have the technology to do it, can get the information, because this one is basically right up their alley, similar to the maps and similar to the water studies. They can get the information. The information exists. DTI has it. They are just not willing to disseminate it into a place that we can see it. And as far as staff having to do all this, I mean, other people can be designated to help. I offered when we were at that meeting, if you didn't have time to do the paperwork, I mean, I was involved with one last time. It needs to be in before the 28th. I said, I've got the time this week and part of next week to do it. And if I had to do it, I could do it, well, of course, the 28th is after, just shortly after I'm going away for a week. It can be done. And I mean, we can actually, I was on the last group, you were on the maps one. I mean, we can, staff doesn't have to be in every single bit of the weeds. I mean, we can report back. It can be done. There are other people who can fill out paperwork and get things done. And, you know, it can all be run back through whoever, same as if you designated something to staff and they report back. You know, we have the number of people we have. We're not going to get into the staffing issue right now, but this can be done. I think it's a feasible study to be done. And really and truly, yes, David Bell Park will be important, but I mean, we've just barely gotten the recreation master plan, you know, presented to us. And I mean, we have lots of time, but there's work that should be getting done in that park this year, like the draining and all that could easily be done before. You know, there's work that can be done there without having to have a master plan all of a sudden delivered to these people. They only have a year, I think it is, to do this, because we started this about this time last year. You know, we haven't even had time to sit down and think, what do we want, where do we want to put it? And a site plan for David Bell Park, you know, really and truly, in a short term, I don't think that but anyway, I'm really thinking that this is a good opportunity. We know it could be expensive to have it done, and we've got a lot of work done for the amount of money we put into it. This is just, to me, a golden opportunity to find out what we've got and what our options are. Because right now, all we have are rumors and innuendos, and you know, maybe they'll do this and maybe they'll do that. And we've got DTI who won't even put a traffic light in until 2030 at the rate things are going. And you know, we've contracted with Black Arcs to give us really good information on traffic flows and if, you know, scenarios as we grow. But I mean, we can't do anything until at least know what our options are for roads, whether we have a good option or we don't have a good option, or whether there's some kind of a hybrid option. Now, when we talked to the minister when he was here to that meeting we had earlier in the fall, and he agreed that we have to have some kind of control over our roads, whether it's full or not, or in between. But this is, for a community our size, we need to know, we can't do anything unless we know what we can do. For example, I was driving in my road the other day and there's people out there surveying the end of my road from DTI. Nobody knows what that's all about. I mean, we have no information whatsoever, no control, no notification, no anything. So at least with this, I see no reason to, you know, to not want to know what it is we've got and what our options are. And that's all we're going to get from these people. We're not going to get a recommendation. They're not going to try to talk us into anything. It's just pure information. And because we don't have time to fill out the paperwork in a week, I don't think that...
It wasn't the paperwork, it's the year-long meetings, the weekly meetings, and finding information for them.
Other people could be designated to those meetings. I mean, the mayor and whoever else is left here could do. I mean, there are other people that can do things when we don't have enough staff to do it. This is part of our, you know, frustration with not, you know, we've passed this up since 2017, and we want to pass it up again. And I really don't think we should. Anyway, everybody else, see what everybody else thinks?
I agree, actually, and it seemed like the consensus when polled about it earlier,
Yeah.
that most people seem to also agree.
Yeah, Councillor Dooley had a question.
Curious, so, Terry, on your mention of, you know, load and what demand there is and all that sort of thing, have you had an opportunity to look at what opportunities would be in front of us that would be easier to execute on, and which ones wouldn't be as advantageous to go with?
Like projects?
Simpler, less demanding projects that we could say, we can execute on this and these two or these three things, you know, based on the budgets that are gonna be given through the program, and, you know, they're all beneficial. I'm sure there's 5, 6, 10, 20 things that we could look at and go, these are all the things that we wanna know.
Right.
Out of the list of areas that we can focus, do we know which ones are more and less demanding, so that we could sit and say, we are gonna plow forward with this, but it might not be this, and this year, because, you know, we only have so much resources to go around? Have you been
No,
able to allocate?
I think that all of the projects are important ones.
Sure,
I think that we do need a road study to find out or whatever. We've been budgeting, we've been using those monies for kind of like the traffic because we have hired Portfolio and Blackheart, so those funds have gone to that, and that was council's choice. So I think that they are all very important, but we also have a ton of projects on our plate right now, so I just don't know how, funding comes and goes all the time. So to me, like, can we not just hold off? Like, we have got a ton of training. You're talking literally 2 staff really that is in the training part of training staff and to train council and everything else. We've got a lot going on in the next few months. So I am just saying, like, maybe on this one, hold off and let another municipality possibly get the funding, but if, like I said, if that is what your choice is to move forward, then we will certainly do whatever council wishes.
I totally think we can designate her.
Councillor Heislip's next.
I just had a question, just to clarify how the procedure would work. So you're saying they asked us about proposals, but if we were to propose something, is it a given that we are going to
To
get
get it?
this funding?
No,
Okay,
no.
okay, so,
So last time, we had put in proposals, and I forget what the first one was, and we didn't get anybody or whatever, so then we did it again, and then we were awarded the contract or whatever. So no, we could, and there could be 40 other organizations that want funding. There's nothing saying that we're going to, but
I believe part of the problem last time was when we didn't get someone, was it was brand new. They sent us the proposals, we did an RFP, we really didn't know the proper way to do it. And so there was really nothing, that they just couldn't work with what we sent them. So we went back and did another proposal. This time, they've learned that most municipalities don't have the staff or the wherewithal, because they're all smaller municipalities usually. And so this time they have offered to help us actually do the proposal. And so you're more likely to have success. It saves them time, because like I say, last time we came, we gave it to them, we went, and really nobody could do what we were thinking. So this time they would help with us and be a little more, they're learning too.
Councillor Dewey.
so we submit, we get approved, do we have an out, or are we pot committed? So if we put our name in the bucket and it's approved, we get matched up, we're going down that, okay. And we don't know, do we have one that we would say, tonight, the easiest one to execute on would be this?
I don't think we could even know that.
No.
And I don't know that, basically with this last one, we met once a month for a bit. Then we had, near the end, we had a few more reviews of, it's the people, I don't know how much information we actually have to give them. They're the ones finding the information for us. Once we tell them what we're going to do, we have monthly check-ins to see what we had one in the beginning to tell them, do they go over the project to see if it's, their schedule is what we want. And then they work away and then they give us a monthly report. I don't think,
You had a monthly report. I had many weekly meetings with them
and that could be designated to the other
or
person.
whatever, so. But it's hard to designate somebody, Deputy Mayor Jonah, when most of you guys aren't going to be here. Like, this does not happen until June, he said. So for you guys to kind of sit there and say, oh yes, well, I can help, you aren't gonna be here. Like,
maybe nobody's gonna be here.
right, so that's what I'm saying, like, we have got kind of a lot on our plate.
So just to clarify, the deadline is February 28th.
Yes.
Correct.
We will not find out until June whether or not we have anything, is, right?
The program starts in June.
Yeah, should know before then, I think.
Yeah, well, we probably know before then. They want to get all of the interest, like the intent of the interest applications in. And then they put it forward. Then I know last time, for one of the projects, Mayor Morrison and I, and then Deputy Mayor and I went. And then we have to listen to their pitch, and then it goes back, and then we decide who we want to work with, which company, because they gave us like 2 or 3. So it was kind of like an all-day thing, so.
On these merge programs, is there a maximum amount of the grant?
So we paid $3,100. I think we paid $3,128 last year for each one of them.
Right.
Now,
We
saying
split them, right? Because those were split.
we were actually
It was
split.
6,250
Yes.
out of the 25,000, and then we split it,
And
or
yes,
something like that.
because remember, both of our projects are done with other
Yeah.
Other
with
municipalities.
other municipalities, so
Yeah,
if
we
we don't get one that we are actually sharing, which that all of the projects that we're kind of thinking of could be difficult to share, then we would be the whole 6250 or
But
whatever
considering
it
what
is.
it,
But the maximum grant that we can get from the merge program would be what, 60,000?
No, I think it was
25.
25.
we don't actually get a grant.
We don't get
I
a
mean,
grant,
They just pay, they grant the whoever wins the contract.
yeah.
Yeah,
They grant them a certain
they get
amount.
$25,000 from the,
Ignite.
Ignite.
Merge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're looking at projects that are $25,000, $30,000 and under.
Correct.
Okay, so that's, that's something if we want to look at for a merge project, we gotta keep that in mind, that we can't do a $100,000 project or a $200,000 project. We've got
I
to
would be
keep,
very curious to know what some of the amount of, this project to me seems very similar in scope to both the MAP project and the water project. Because they were all done with collecting data and computerizing the data and whatever. So to find out about your roads, it's the same, it's very similar. That's what Stantec did the last time when we had our survey done.
Yeah.
Is they went through all the files and it's, so I believe it's a compatible project.
getting back onto that, when they did that, that was what year Stantec did
I
that for us?
forget.
I think it was
Three.
2019, 2020.
Yeah, so
Maybe. not
3,
earlier.
5 years ago.
Yeah,
And that, at that time cost,
75.
and that was for half of Hamlin. Now we're twice as big, 5 years have passed.
And that's why if
So
we
we're
can get
looking at
this
some-
done at this price.
So if we're looking at something that cost $75,000 5 years ago, for half of Hamlin, what's it gonna cost this year, this time around for all of Hamlin? That's just something you gotta look at. I mean, can we get that project done for $30,000? Anyway, Councillor Dooley had a question.
Will they allow for, with our study that we did for water, where there's an ongoing component to it, would they allow a continuation
No,
of that? It has to be a new study producing new data.
Yes,
Yeah.
New start.
it has to be a new startup because they won't give the same guy money twice.
yeah.
Gotcha.
And there you are, because I asked that question. I
Okay.
was like, so if we wanted to kind of do phase 2.
Phase
with
2.
these companies, could we do that? And they said no, because now they want to be able to sell their product that they have
Right.
done, right? So, it would be, because we're trying, with Ignite, we're trying to support small businesses.
Right.
Or whatever, but council, if you really think that you would like to have one done on the road study, then I will do the road study. We had kind of, in the email, there was a little bit of talk back and forth, so I just thought that it's better to discuss it in council, so.
Is there actually like a hope in getting a road study done at this level for that price?
I explained it to him, what scope, what we wanted, and what we done before. And they said, we will definitely put it out there. to, you know, companies that they think would be interested. And if they bid, they bid, and if they don't, they don't. Just like if we were to put an RFP out for a road survey to pay, you know, to the engineering companies in Fredericton or New Brunswick. It's the same idea. If you put it out there and whoever, if somebody's interested, they'll bid on it.
Councillor Heisler.
So who were you discussing this with? I mean, if we can't use the same company, so who
No,
were
no.
you asking that they could do this?
No, with merge, we were saying like we couldn't, you know how we had talked with maps
Yes.
and with the water, that there is like a phase 2 part of that.
Right.
So I was asking them if we could kind of pay for our phase 2 with those 2 companies that
Right.
we've already done, but you're not allowed to.
Right, but for the roads, who was it that said they thought they could do stuff like that?
No, the merge
Oh,
program
was still-
was just
oh, okay.
saying that there,
Okay.
it might be something, so they really don't know until the
Technically-
RFP goes out.
Okay,
Maybe nobody will bid on it, and then it would just be dropped, right?
so yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
So technically, we don't know if there's a company out there that would be able to do what we want them to do.
Correct.
Okay,
Same as we didn't know when we did the water one, that there was a company out there that could do the water.
Yeah.
one.
right,
Yeah,
And we had 3 proposals, I think, and one
right.
worked out quite well, actually. Same with the maps. I don't know how many applied for that.
I would say that if there's truly a road study option for $25,000, that is a risk I think Hanwell should take. Because the payoff on that would be huge in
Huge.
savings. Unfortunate timing, truly unfortunate timing, understood. I think we could all say that there's, you know,
Yeah.
there's agreement on some level there, but if, you know, if the offer is out there to say, put your name in the bucket, you got an opportunity, there might be an option, and it's gonna be covered, and it's gonna be at that amount, and we're gonna get the kind of data out of it that we would be expecting us to get out of it, you have my vote.
Both of our past ones have exceeded what I expected from them. Both companies, like maps and water.
I personally don't want us to lose the opportunity for this, but I'm so cognizant of the fact that our staff is so
Yeah,
overwhelmed right now.
absolutely.
It's like,
It's
my
fine,
heart
we'll-
actually breaks for you guys because it is a lot. But I really think that council has to take advantage of this opportunity. We may not get it. We may not, there might not be anybody out there. So it might be a moot point
Yeah.
in the end.
No, we certainly can. I just wanted to make sure that that is the project that you wanted to move forward with. So can we do like
We need a
show of
motion.
hands or
We'll have to,
something?
we'll have to have get
An
a
actual
motion together on the fly to direct staff to apply the groups to do a project on a road study. And
Because we brought it to the meeting, so
I would have a
we'd
motion.
have to have a
Yeah.
motion.
Okay, I move to authorize and direct the CAO to apply for a road study via the MERGE program.
I, Councillor McKenzie, second.
questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Thank you, council. Moving on to item 9, proclamations. We don't have any tonight. Item 10, upcoming activities. A, open house rural plan review, February 24th from 6:30 to 8:30, Upper Kingsford Community Center. February 28th, moonlight hike, Hamel Recreation Park at 7 p.m. C, open house rural plan review, March the 2nd from 6:30 to 8:30 at Hamel Place. Item D is a babysitting course, March the 5th, 9:15 to 4:30. Register at recreation@hamel.nb.ca. And one of our favorite activities coming up is the Easter extravaganza from March the 28th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Hamel Place. And we don't have a closed session tonight, so can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
I, Councillor Heisler, move to adjourn.
Meeting, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary minded? Motion carried. Thank you.